that we wanted to get married during that time. So during the PhD, I was married, and my wife went with me to Indiana, Pennsylvania, and worked while I was doing my PhD. And soon thereafter, I graduated, and then she went to school to do her studying, and we had children along the way, 2 sons, and but and it worked for me in terms of being married. We just didn't have children during that time, but during her degrees, during her studies, we had 2 sons. But for non-traditional individuals who are working and who may have children, I say that my hat is off to the individuals like yourself who are striving for excellence. It's a must that you should do, because what you want to do is to make sure that you provide a better life for our sons and daughters. That's what we want to make sure, that we provide a better life for our children. That's important. So I would say, and I would encourage individuals who are non-traditional students to pursue their studies. It's very important, and also for the individual as well, because an education will change your life, and for the better. I think it was Oliver Wendell Holmes who said that a man's mind, once stretched by a new ideal, it never regains its original dimension. And in essence, your life will never be the same once you get an education. It should enhance your life. It should enhance the quality of life, which is more important. It will enhance the quality of life. I'm sure you want to have the best for your children. That's important. And same thing with myself. And that's what my mother was saying. Someone has to do something a little different from what we have done. She wanted me to have a better quality of life. And that's what I would say to non-traditional students as well.
So you have 2 sons.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me a little bit about their life and what they're going through right now.
My oldest son is Patrick. Patrick is a junior communication major here at Western. He's on the track team here, and we finished high school here in Macomb. Patrick is a wonderful son, very polite, kind person, and I always say he's like his dad. He's like his dad. That's how I am. And we moved here during the middle of his junior year, so that was a challenge for him. And moving during the middle of his junior year, he never forgave me for moving him from one place during the middle of his junior year to a place called Macomb, Illinois. And that was the second time he had moved. We moved from Maryland, where he was born, but he likes it here. He's very in tune to what's going on here. Has really gotten himself involved in activities here. Very generous kind of person, and he likes it. And he runs track. And the second son is Darius. Darius is a junior at Macomb Senior High School. He runs track, and he likes it as well. So I think because of our family, we are a close-knit family. Whatever they're involved in, that means that we are involved in it. And we talk often, and I try to make sure that I'm there for them, as busy as I am. My wife and I try to make sure that we're very much involved in their lives, and that we're molding and shaping these 2 young men to be great young men, and so that they too can have a enjoy the qualities of life once they finish and get their education. I told them at an early age, I said, everybody in this house has to get the highest degree that they can get, that they can achieve. That's bachelor's, master's, and PhD. If you don't get the bachelor's, master's, and PhD, make sure you get the MD or the law degree. Get the highest degree that you can get. And education makes a difference with an individual, and it helps to shape your lives, and it helps to provide you with a better quality of life. They're wonderful young men, and they're just like everybody else, other young people, but I try to make sure that they stay on the straight and narrow, that they give them the opportunity to read, as my mother did, the Bible, and other inspirational kinds of things. We go to church together, we pray together. Those kinds are the kinds of things. We have the family time together where we sit down at the table and enjoy each other and talk about the issues of the day, so that they know that they have the support regardless of the challenges and the struggles that they face daily. But I want them to make sure that they understand the challenges, the struggles, and that they are genuine people who believe in honesty and integrity as we do. So they live just a normal life like I did as a child.
Okay, so I want to talk a little bit more about track and field. So I understand you were a track coach for quite some time, and both your sons run track and field now and at the collegiate level and high school. I understand Darius is a pretty good athlete himself. What kind of edge do you think that gives them as student athletes, having someone like you as their father?
I think it really helps, particularly since I was a track athlete and that I coached on the college level as an assistant track coach for 9 years. I had the opportunity to become a head track coach, but one president, Dolores Spikes, when I was in Maryland, said to me, this is when I was chair of the Department of English and Languages, and then I became the executive assistant to the president and then the associate VP for academic and student affairs. And she said to me one day, you're going to have to decide if you want to be an administrator or you want to be a track coach. You're going to have to draw that line. She made me choose. And I'm glad she did. I said, well, I want to be an administrator, so I can always coach my sons on the side during the summers and those kinds of things. But I think that this has really helped them because I coached distance, I coached cross country, I coached the 800 and mile run, the distance runners. And I was better able to help Darius because those were my events. With Patrick, I really didn't know the sprint events. And so I always felt that I didn't give him all that he needed because someone else would have had to give him that in terms of, I just didn't know those sprint events in terms of coaching. But it's really helped both of them to be competitive, and I'm trying to tell them to be as competitive as they are competitive on that track. They should be just as competitive in their schoolwork and in life in general, in terms of their work ethics and those kinds of things. But I think it's helped them in giving them some edge, but it takes ability. It takes a mind, a strong mind, and the will to do. I was just pleased this past weekend, Darius ran in the indoor, I think it's the high school prep or college or the state, whichever one it's called. He finally broke 2 minutes in the 800. He ran a 1:59, and I said, well, good. He's been hurt for the past 2 years and not working up to his ability, but he did well indoors. So I said, just think what you're going to do outdoors. But I want that same kind of determination in their academics and what they do in life as well. So you use those same kinds of skills, same kinds of determination to be successful in life in general.
Okay. Let's transition a little bit to a typical day for you outside of work. What's the typical day like? You work out. What do you do?
Well, at 4:50 every morning, my alarm goes off. Either I'm going to reach over and sit on my phone and hit off and lay there for a while, or I'm going to get up and go work out. Most of the time at 5:30, I'm in the rec center working out at 5:30. And if I'm not in the rec center, I'm out on the road running somewhere. If I'm not doing that, I'm away out of town in the hotel at some fitness center in the hotel doing something, or just exercises in my room. I have to do something to stay fit because I want to make sure that I'm up to par and keeping up with the issues of the day. So it takes mind, body, and soul to do all of that and to do it well and to stay in great physical condition. So that's what I do early in the mornings, and come back home, eat a whole healthy breakfast every day, and then the general things that I do at work, and then I try to spend time with the family in the evenings, and deal with the issues that I have to deal with. But at the same time, as I said, being out there and meeting individuals, greeting individuals on a daily basis.
Okay. I kind of want to close up with a little bit about your presidency, because I'm kind of curious as to when you kind of found out or figured you might be in the running for president of Western Illinois University.
Well, during the time when President Emeritus Goldfarb decided that he was going to retire, I was encouraged by lots of individuals on this campus and also elsewhere that I should pursue the presidency here at Western. When I came here as provost and academic vice president, I never thought that I would be president here at Western. My goal was to come here and to stay here for a number of years and perhaps move on to another institution. And so during that time, and after individuals talked to me, I felt that I still could make a great contribution to Western. I knew the institution, I knew the culture here, I knew the community, and I felt that I had lots of support here at Western. And I knew what the institution needed to do in terms of moving to the next level, particularly after working with President Emeritus Al Goldfarb. And I worked very close to him. He was a great friend, a great mentor, and a great colleague, great supervisor. So I learned a lot from him. So I felt that I could make an even greater contribution for the entire institution rather than just, after being provost and academic vice president. And I decided to apply.